This tutorial is going to cover some of the common tabs that will help you to set your paper up in accordance with the APA formatting as well as the page parameters. So let's start here with this Microsoft Word page. So if you click the Home button, what you should be looking for is Times New Roman and 12. To set this as a default, you click right here, the bottom right hand corner of that section, and you'll notice Times New Roman, Regular, and 12 are all selected. If they're not, find them and select them. Then go down here where it says Select as Default and click that button, and it says all documents based on this template, and you want to say yes, and then it's going to apply it to all. So that gets your font correct. So now what we want to look at is your spacing, line and paragraph spacing. So if you click this, the drop down comes along, and then you click line spacing options. So when you're writing a formal paper, you want the paper to be double spaced if that was the instructions you received. Click line spacing options and look right here, and it should say double spaced. Many times it will say multiple, and it might have 6 pt after. The easiest thing to do is just to change this double spaced 0 and 0 and then click OK. And you can also set that as your default, all documents, if you want to have that computer set up this way. Something to pay attention to is if you create a new document, those parameters might move into the new computer that you're opening the document on, but you might want to check to make sure. So the next thing we want to look at is the page layout. Click the page layout tab, and on the left hand side it says margins. Click the adjust margins drop down, and you should be looking at the 1-inch margins all the way around. That's what you should look at for your paper. If at any time you're worried about, I don't know if all of my font is the correct font, you can highlight it, and if you highlight font and it's not all Times New Roman, this will be blank. That'll tell you that there's probably a problem. Same thing with here. It should say 12, but if it's blank, if you've highlighted a couple of pages of text, then some of that doesn't match the Times New Roman 12. So we talked about paragraph and line spacing. We talked about the page layout here, and we talked about the font. So consider that as you're moving forward with your paper. These are easy ways to make sure that you get full credit.